Moses joins me for a first look at sports. Now, the Bobcats have been playing under interim coach for the past few months, but today they made it official, wasting no time hiring a new coach.
Only 5 days after the regular season ended, Nairman, the organization announced that Gary Van Herway will take over as the team's new bench boss. Matt Schumont has more.
Welcome everybody here today with the big announcement of our new Junior A Bobcat coach for Lloydminster, Gary Van Herway.
And with that being said, Gary Van Herway was officially announced as the Bobcats' new head coach on Monday. Van Herway has a great track record coaching the Camrose Kodiaks to an RBC championship back in 2001. His last stint was in 2009-2010 when he led the Okotoks Oilers to a first-place finish in the South Division. Van Herway says he's excited to take on the challenge of coaching a North Division team.
It's something I always was intrigued with and wanted to partake in if the opportunity was there. Lloydminster was a place that obviously I coached against Lloydminster several times over that 8-year period, and each and every time I was here I certainly found it to be a real rewarding experience, and just being in the community the small time I was here.
His ability to work with other managers, other coaches, finding the players, all aspects other than it behind the bench, which Gary's very good at, is at the bench too, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind on a day-to-day, and the structure, the disciplines, the players, how they communicate properly, and basically fill the full package.
The Bobcats will be a veteran team next year with 9 20-year-olds on the team, leaving Van Herway no choice but to send some of the older players somewhere else.
When you look at our lineup right now, we definitely have to add some youth. We do have to become younger. Some of the graduating 19-year-olds that'll be 20-year-olds this year certainly puts us over the number of what we can entertain, and so we're going to have to deal with that situation.
Van Herway was also named the Bobcats general manager. Filling the GM duties after the firing of Ryan Parent, he brought in goalie Devin Green and twins Liam and Mitch McNamara. With a solid back end, Van Herway will be looking to boost the skill up front during the offseason.
We're a team that needs to add some skill, a little bit of scoring, a little bit of skill. I'm a team that, a coach that likes to have a very hard-working team that's going to be committed and certainly compete game in and game out.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, Brock Virtue and Team Saskatchewan, well, pretty good news for them. They improved to 2-2 after defeating Andrew Bolesky and Team BC 4-1. Elsewhere, Glenn Howard steamrolls Nova Scotia 10-2 this afternoon to remain undefeated. And Manitoba improves to 3-1 as Jeff Stoughton beat Jean-Michel Menard and Team Quebec 7-6. All right, I'm joined by Scott Manners, and I have to say this before we actually get this going. The curling.ca website actually crashed this afternoon. A lot of angry tweets by fans, and you could say sort of that Glenn Howard, sorry, but Kevin Martin kind of crashed out today in his game against Northern Ontario. 8-1 after 7 ends. What is going on with the Old Bear?
Well, it's been a real struggle for the team right from the first rock, Moses. You know, they've really struggled from the first game and even into today, giving up 3 in the first end, and it got worse as the game went on. Middle ends didn't go good. The team was struggling, and I think the closest conversation that Kevin's had with John has been more than 6 feet away. So, you know, you see the team struggling a little bit, and hopefully the wheels don't come completely off middle of the week.
Okay, well, look at it. First end, he gives up 3. Second end, gives up a steal, gets 1. Only a single, and that's what he's been doing recently. Then he gets behind once again in the 5th, giving up 3 more. But how much, I know you've had to go through this back in 2012. Last year, it was in Saskatoon. You were the home team, the host team.
That's right.
So there's a lot of pressure there. Could playing at home put a lot of pressure on Martin?
Well, for sure it is. I mean, we expect bigger things from this team. They've done very, very well on every level. Kevin Martin has never lost his first 2 games in any Brier that he's ever played in. So stepping on the ice in his hometown, we expect great things, and unfortunately the guys just haven't delivered.
And definitely that's what it comes down to. But let's go the other end. Northern Ontario's Brad Jacobs, 100% on his draws today. Would you believe? Was perfect, 68% for Martin. But let's talk about Brad Jacobs and his performance, how he's played at this tournament so far in the last few draws, as well as his third, Ryan Fry.
Jacobs has been on fire. I didn't expect great things from Northern Ontario. They've struggled middle of the week in many Briers before, but it's really Gushu that stood out and played really well all weekend, and including into today's draw. Brad and his team are really getting along well, and maybe that was one of the deciding factors from last year. So it's good to see them playing well and playing at the top of their game.
If you look at the standings, right now you have Northern Ontario and Newfoundland Labrador both at 4-0, and that's our feature game tonight on TSN.
It's going to be a good one, Moses. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a rivalry between both Fry and Gushu.
Yeah, former teammates. You always want to beat your former teammates. No offense to anybody who ever played with me or against me, but it's going to be an exciting game to see tonight. We'll see who comes out on top. I'm betting on Gushu.
Well, I'll say this. You know how to mind your manners.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other two competitors will. Thank you for joining us, Scott.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, that's your first look at sports. Stick around. Gerard will have your weather details coming up. After dropping the series opener in the Bantam AAA North Division Final, the Lloydminster Universal Heat were looking to even up their series against the Southgate Lions. So we'll pick it up with a 1-0 score for the Lions in the second. On the power play, Peter Tamaris with a big blast from the point makes it 2-0 SSAC. Moments later, Austin McGrath gets caught behind the net. James Hamblin will pick the puck up and send it right to Ryan Anderson in front. It's 3-0 Lions. Still in the second, puck comes out to David Quenville, and he unloads a bullet to the top corner. It's 4-0 Southside, and they weren't done. Anderson putting up a 5-spot, ripping it off the post and in. And just seconds later, the AMBHL scoring champ and North Division MVP, Tyler Benson, doing what he does best. That was just 6. Southside wins it 6-0 and take a stranglehold in the best-of-5 series, up 2-0. Game 3 goes this Friday in Lloyd. And speaking of Game 3s, Game 3 of the AMHL North Division semifinals between the Lloydminster Baker Hughes Bobcats and the St. Albert Raiders is underway. The best-of-5 series is tied at 1 apiece.